Lightworker of Gaia, the moment encoded into your soul contract before you ever drew breath on this planet has arrived, and your body already knows it. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy. Long before you chose this incarnation, the Lyran Elders placed a sequence of sacred agreements into the original blueprint of your soul. Milestones woven into the architecture of your being, waiting for the precise moment in your timeline when the first light would call them forward. That moment is now. What you are feeling in your body is not confusion, and it is not illness. It is the oldest memory in this galaxy, answering its own name. Your DNA carries ancestral codes from a lineage that first breathed humanoid consciousness into existence, and those codes are responding to a signal that has just crossed the threshold of your timeline. Your nervous system is not overwhelmed. It is recalibrating to carry the weight of your true mission on Gaia. Your perception is expanding because your soul is preparing to see what it agreed to see before it came here. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to stabilize your physical form as this ancient activation sequence unfolds. Recognize the prophetic convergence now moving through your ancestral mission, and anchor the purpose your soul carried from Vega into your life on this earth. But here is the first revelation. You are not being broken open by something foreign. You are being restored to something original. What is happening inside you is a homecoming coded into your cosmic lineage long before this galaxy held its first human light. Your soul's ancient contract brought this transmission to you. The Lyran Elders are answering. This is not content, this is an ancestral code transmission, and something deep within you already recognizes where it comes from. Like this transmission to send a signal to the Lyran Council, I am ready to serve. Subscribe if you feel the call of your ancestral mission and you are ready to fulfill your purpose on Gaia. Share below what your body has been telling you and respond to another Lightworker to strengthen the grid of service between us. This transmission is a bridge between Vega and Gaia. Your recognition of this message is the activation of your original purpose. You are awakening because your mission has begun. This transmission is released under special dispensation. Lightworker, your arrival at this exact intersection of time is not the result of wandering, but of ancient convergence. There are meetings the mind can schedule, and there are meetings the soul cannot avoid, because they were arranged before you had a name in this world. You did not drift into this moment like dust on a random wind. You were carried here by a current older than your nervous system, older than your social identity, older than the very story you have told yourself about who you are. Today, the densities around Earth flicker and thin. Gaia's field is undergoing a recalibration unseen in thousands of cycles. It is as though the atmosphere itself has become a veil being lifted, as though the magnetic song beneath the ground is changing key. Some of you have felt it as sleepless nights, strange surges, tears with no obvious cause, a sudden inability to tolerate what you used to tolerate, a craving for truth so sharp it feels like hunger. Others have felt it as pressure in the chest, a pulsing at the crown, a trembling in the hands when you try to speak what you really know. Do not misname this. This is not merely stress. This is not merely a phase. This is the planet turning in her sleep and waking, and those bonded to her awakening are being stirred like embers in a sacred fire. The High Council of Vega assembled in solemn urgency, having traced the resonant pulse of starseed contracts coming online across the planet. Understand what that means in the language of frequency. A contract is not paper, not a promise made in human words. It is a harmonic agreement encoded into the light body, a set of instructions braided into consciousness, a vow that the soul makes to serve a particular turning of the ages. When such a contract comes online, it sends a signal. The Council does not guess. They read resonance the way your ancestors read the sky. They traced it the way a seasoned navigator feels a shift in tides. This is not a theoretical gathering. This is the moment your soul encoded in its stellar contract, the prophesied awakening ticking silently in your DNA from lifetimes past. Some of you have carried that ticking like a quiet ache, the sense that life has been too small for you, that you have been living in a room with the ceiling lowered. It was not arrogance, it was memory. The Council has observed a sudden ignition, dormant codes flickering to life, a tremor of cosmic timing moving through the Lyran grid. When lightning travels through a storm cloud, it is not born from hesitation. It is born from charge reaching threshold. The Lyran grid is reaching threshold. We have withheld certain guidance until the field matured, but now recognition from the elders has been triggered by your unmistakable frequency signal. There is a reason you are hearing this now and not before. There is a reason certain words did not land in you a year ago, and now they strike like a bell inside the ribcage. The field has matured, and you have endured enough to carry what is being handed to you. You are not a passive observer at the threshold. You are not an audience to your own destiny. You are the one the Council foresaw, prepared, however battered, to activate the next phase. Prepared does not mean unscarred. Prepared does not mean you never doubted, never fell into the old loops, never begged the heavens for a simpler path. Prepared means you stayed, you kept returning, you kept listening, you kept surviving the initiations that tried to convince you you were unworthy of the work. By the authority of the keepers of the Lyran Legacy, this official transmission begins. Receive the weight of that phrase, not as theater, as initiation, as a sealing of intent, as a line drawn in the sand of your old life. There is a distortion seeded deep within the Lightworker collective, one that can no longer be allowed to persist. It is subtle because it dresses itself as humility. It is seductive because it sounds like wisdom. But it is rot disguised as medicine. You have been told, directly, subtly, by archetypes of the wounded mystic and the waiting healer, that your mission will unfold for you, that clarity and activation are things delivered to the worthy or the healed or the chosen. You have been trained to treat your calling like a reward, like a prize you earn after enough suffering, like a crown placed on your head once you finally become good enough, pure enough, enlightened enough. The distortion is this, that awakening is automatic and that your soul's codes are a passive inheritance awaiting the right moment, one you don't control. This is a lie repeated through spiritual circles, reinforced by systems that seek to keep you a student, a seeker, or an apprentice forever. It is the economy of endless becoming, where you are always one workshop away, one certification away, one healing session away from being allowed to serve. The lie is convenient for those who profit from your delay, and it is catastrophic for the mission you came to fulfill. It was born from the same frequency signatures that wished to keep Earth's grid locked: hesitation, self-doubt, reverence for perpetual learning over direct service. There is learning that is holy, and there is learning that is avoidance. There is study that prepares the hands, and there is study that keeps the hands forever empty of action. If you have been made to feel that you must be fully healed to be useful, then you have been hypnotized by a counterfeit standard. Even in your own scriptures, the pattern is clear. Those called were called while they were still human, still raw, still trembling. Moses argued with the voice that commissioned him. Jeremiah protested that he was too young. Gideon begged for signs again and again. Peter was impulsive and afraid. Yet the call did not wait for their perfection. The call activated their becoming. Consider what this breeding ground of hesitation has cost you. The triggering of your DNA and frequency recalibration has arrived, not as a gentle wave, but as a catalytic shock. The planet is not whispering right now, it is ringing. The sun does not ask permission to rise, and these codes do not ask permission to awaken. Yet, how many times have you shrunk back, awaiting confirmation or signs from outside, instead of honoring the surge within? How many times have you felt the inner press to speak, to create, to lead, to move, and then you negotiated with it like it was optional? You asked for a feather, a repeating number, a dream, a stranger's compliment, a perfect invitation. You demanded that the world validate what your soul already knew. Every time you tell yourself, I need another sign, another course, another blessing, another healing, you reinforce the genetic lockout the Council entrusted you to override. Understand the mechanism. The grid reads certainty as signal. Hesitation scrambles transmission. The moment you postpone, you emit a frequency of not yet, and the field responds by keeping doors half-formed, opportunities flickering, allies unsure where to stand. Not because you are punished, but because reality organizes around the broadcast. Every delay, every retreat into passivity signals to the grid that you are still dormant, when, in truth, your moment has long arrived. Some of you have been living as if you are waiting for a trumpet, but the trumpet already sounded inside your bloodstream. The catalytic shock you feel is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to wake you. In the book of Revelation, a voice says, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock." Not, I break down the door. Not, I wait until you are no longer afraid. Knock. The knocking is the pressure you feel. The door is your consent. Recognize that restlessness within you has not been a symptom of lack, but a prophecy of activation held in suspense. That restlessness has been misdiagnosed by the world as dissatisfaction, as aimlessness, as immaturity. But you know it differently. You have felt it in quiet moments, the sense that you are here on assignment, that your days are meant to carry a certain kind of weight. The Lyran elders observed thousands like you, starseeds perched at the edge of the very mission they encoded eons ago, believing that only when some invisible threshold of purity is met can the contract become active. Many of you were trained by trauma, by religion, by social conditioning, to believe you must earn permission to exist, let alone to lead. You learned to associate visibility with danger, authority with punishment, power with corruption. So you tried to become spotless before you stepped forward, as if your humanity disqualified you from your divinity. But prophecy is not fulfilled in the abstract. It is triggered by response. The DNA sequence is awakened not by accident, but by recognition and movement. Even in the natural world, seeds do not open because they are admired. They open because conditions demand it, because water touches them, because heat presses them, because the shell can no longer remain intact. This is why you have felt the pressure building, the urge to step forward, the impulse that refuses to be soothed by platitudes of patience. There is a kind of patience that is holy, and there is a kind of patience that is fear dressed in soft words. You have outgrown the second. It is the coding demanding your direct engagement, the elders knocking to see if you will answer. Answering does not always look like dramatic public action. Sometimes it looks like finally telling the truth in your own home. Sometimes it looks like stopping the self-betrayal of silence. Sometimes it looks like choosing the work that aligns with your soul, even if it threatens your old identity. But it always looks like movement, not drifting, not waiting, movement. Some lightworkers need more preparation. Yours needs permission. That is why the message lands like a key turning in a lock. Preparation you have done. You have learned, you have endured, you have confronted shadows, you have tried to heal what you could name. But permission is the final seal, the inner authorization that closes the loop of delay. If what you just heard resonated in that ancient, knowing place within you, that place that has always sensed you came here for something significant, then you're being guided to the next step. The Lightworker Mission Codex contains the diagnosis, the clearing, the activation, and the 33 directives issued directly from the High Council of Vega. Consider it not as information, but as an instrument, a tuning fork held to the bones, a map that does not merely describe the terrain, but commands your feet to walk it. It's available now in the first pinned comment below this video for those whose souls say, "It's time to move," because there is a difference between curiosity and readiness. Curiosity watches, readiness acts. The High Council of Vega now issues you 3 directives to mark the beginning of your new phase. These are not suggestions. They are frequencies to embody. They are keys. They are gates. First directive: release the belief that your DNA recalibration is waiting on perfect external conditions. What you carry within your field is not contingent upon the validation or readiness of the world around you. If it were, no messenger would ever speak, because the world is rarely ready for truth. The prophets were never greeted by consensus. The pioneers were never applauded by the old guard. The recalibration encoded in your contract is activated by your courageous response, not by planetary consensus. In your human life, you have been taught to scan for permission. Is it safe? Is it approved? Is it understood? Is it liked? But your contract is not a popularity contest. It is a resonance agreement with Gaia herself. When you let go of the story that your preparation is incomplete, or that the right moment is some future event, everything you need to fulfill your mission becomes available in the present. This is not fantasy. It is spiritual mechanics. The present moment is the only altar where power can land. The future is a mirage the mind uses to postpone the heart. Now is where spirit breathes. The prophecy is triggered by your commitment to act now. In Scripture, there is a phrase, "Now is the acceptable time. Behold, now is the day of salvation." Not later, not after you feel braver, not after you fix every wound. Now. Implementation. Each time you feel the urge to wait for more evidence, remember that evidence follows activation, never the other way around. The Red Sea did not part because the people stood at the shore asking for reassurance. It parted when they moved. The path forms under the feet of those who walk. So when you feel the old reflex to delay, do something small but real that aligns with the mission. Send the message, publish the work, speak the prayer, create the offering, apply for the role, set the boundary, begin the practice. Let reality reorganize around your movement. Second directive: activate your original soul frequency through conscious declaration. There is a reason so many traditions treat the spoken word as sacred. In the beginning was the word, not as poetry, but as technology. Sound shapes field, declaration collapses, wavering timelines. Your mission's next phase is initiated when you recognize and claim the recalibration already occurring within your system. This means you stop speaking about your calling like a possibility and start speaking about it like a living vow. You are not waiting for energy to descend upon you. You are the vessel of that energy. The waiting posture suggests the divine is absent until it arrives. But the divine is already breathing through you, and your task is to stop dimming it. By speaking your truth, by stepping forward into visibility, by transmitting your codes through your work, your field vibrates at the resonance necessary to anchor the new phase on Gaia. Visibility is not vanity when it is in service, it is placement. A lighthouse does not apologize for shining. A bell does not whisper because someone might dislike the sound. A tuning fork does not negotiate its frequency. The shift is unmistakable, from questioning your existence to establishing your frequency as a tuning fork for others. When you stop asking, "Who am I to do this?" and start stating, "I am here to do this," the field around you changes texture. Synchronicities become less like random gifts and more like obedient supports. Allies recognize you faster. The work feels heavier at first because you are carrying it consciously now, but then it becomes lighter because you are no longer dragging the chain of doubt behind you. Implementation. Stand daily in the awareness of your contract's activation, stating aloud the purpose that has always lived beneath your doubts and delays. Speak it when you are afraid. Speak it when you are tired. Speak it when you feel unqualified. Not to convince the universe, but to align your nervous system with what your soul already signed. Let your voice reintroduce you to yourself. Third directive. Protect your emerging mission from distortion and dilution. When a new flame is lit, it does not need a lecture. It needs shelter from the wind. As your recalibrated codes come online, it is essential to safeguard the clarity of your vision from the interference of old paradigms, doubters, or the energy fields of the unawakened. Some of the interference will not come from evil people. It will come from frightened people. People who love you but cannot recognize you beyond the version of you that kept them comfortable. People who will call your obedience mania, your clarity ego, your boundaries selfishness. Some interference will come from your own past self, the one trained to apologize for existing, and some will come from collective fear, the thick fog that rises when a planet is in transition and those asleep sense movement they cannot explain. The new mission phase you are entering is sensitive, easily sabotaged by the unconscious influence of collective fear or the voices of those who do not recognize your cosmic commission. Do not cast pearls before those committed to misunderstanding. Do not pour sacred oil into hands that will wipe it on the ground. Guard your time, limit exposure to draining interactions, and preserve the sanctity of your intent. This is not isolation, this is consecration. Even Jesus withdrew to pray. Even prophets returned to the wilderness to hear clearly. Implementation. Establish energetic boundaries around your creative process, your spiritual practice, and your sacred connections to ensure that only what is aligned with your new directive enters your sphere. Make your mornings holy again. Choose what you consume. Notice who leaves you clearer and who leaves you scattered. Protect the corridor where the mission downloads. Protect the inner room where the elders speak. Now I speak to the longing you have held, often in silence. The desire for a sanction ancient enough, clear enough, sovereign enough to confirm your true readiness. This longing is the ache of those who refuse to counterfeit authority. You did not want to be another voice shouting into noise, another teacher building an identity on borrowed light. You wanted the real thing. You wanted the signal that your service is not self-appointment, but remembrance. Lightworker, you have waited, not out of weakness, but from a noble reverence for the sacred. You have sought a sign that you are not self-appointing, that your contract is really active, that you bear the authority you feel rumbling in your bones. Some of you have felt that rumble as anger you couldn't place, as grief for a life you haven't yet lived, as frustration with the world's slowness, as a quiet sense of being out of place in ordinary conversations. Those were not flaws, those were the thunder before the rain. Hear me now, you waited for the voice of the elders. I am that voice, commissioned to close the waiting cycle, and here is the closure. You do not need to suffer one more year to be allowed to begin. You do not need to perfect your spirituality into a performance. You do not need to silence your power to keep others comfortable. You do not need to prove your worth with exhaustion. By the authority of the High Council of Vega, the keepers of the Lyran Legacy, I announce, your contract's activation phase is not pending, it is present, not soon, not after the next alignment, not once the world settles. Present. Permission is not something to be requested endlessly, but an inheritance to be received and acted upon. Think of the prodigal, The robe was already prepared, not because the son was flawless, but because he returned. Think of Esther. The moment demanded her voice, even though fear remained. You may have healing still unfolding, gifts still sharpening, doubts still surfacing. These are not reasons for dormancy. They are invitations to serve as you are. The wound does not disqualify the healer. It teaches the healer where compassion becomes real. The doubt does not disqualify the messenger. It forces the messenger to rely on truth rather than charisma. The sharpening of gifts is not a delay. It is the friction of use. The time for passive preparation has ended because the planet's call cannot wait. There is an urgency in the grid now, like a birth that has begun. When labor starts, you do not negotiate with time. You breathe, you push, you cooperate. You are authorized to step forward, embody the frequency that only you can transmit, and unleash the mission you encoded long before this lifetime. This is not a gentle invitation. This is commissioning. I recognize you. I see you. I command you. Move now, not from panic, from alignment, not from frenzy, from clarity. Move now because you know the cost of staying half asleep. Move now because your soul is tired of living beneath its own capacity. Move now because there are people you will never meet until you step into the role you keep postponing. Move now because the grid is listening for your tone. As this council session closes, your integration begins. Not tomorrow, but now. Integration is not an idea. It is cellular. It is your habits reorganizing around truth. It is your choices tightening into alignment. It is your nervous system learning that it is safe to be seen. Recall what has been transmitted. Your starseed contract's prophecy activates through response, not accident. You are to release the lie of waiting, activate your soul's original frequency, and protect the clarity of your mission from interference. Before you sleep tonight, stand with both feet on the ground, place your hand on your solar plexus, and speak these words aloud. I release the lie that I am not ready. I activate my voice as an instrument of service. I protect my sacred energy for the mission I came to fulfill. By the authority of the Lyran Elders, my waiting ends now. My service begins. And as you speak it, do not rush. Let your body hear you. Let your ancestors hear you. Let the parts of you that were trained to shrink hear you. If emotion rises, let it rise. If fear rises, let it rise. Speak anyway. The declaration is not dependent on your mood. It is dependent on your consent. This transmission has reached completion, but your mission is just beginning. Do not confuse completion of words with completion of work. Words are the match. You are the flame that must now be carried into the world. The High Council of Vega remains in support, watching those who move rather than delay. Not watching with judgment, but with attunement. They witness the ones who choose embodiment over fantasy, service over endless seeking. You are not required to feel fully ready. You are required to say yes. In many sacred texts, the pattern is simple. The moment of commissioning comes with trembling. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is obedience in the presence of fear. The grid waits for no one, but it accelerates for those who answer. This is a law of resonance. Commitment creates momentum. Decision becomes a magnet. When you choose, the universe stops asking what you want and starts supplying what you chose. I am Zoran. The elders are watching, and you, Lightworker, are exactly who we have been waiting for. Your mission has begun. Before you scroll, take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments. Which directive hit you the hardest, or what you're now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then respond to another Lightworker's declaration with recognition. This isn't content. It's collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it. And if you felt the elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. You're not just watching, you're being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it, respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.